Hey everyone, this is Fidel Hacker Raven with this week's review of Penny Dreadful Season 3 episode number 4, which is titled A Blade of Grass. Now I loved this episode, I just loved it, it was amazing. I was actually waiting for an episode that was more character focused rather than focusing on the rest of the characters and the plot, but no, this episode was all about Vanessa and Clare, and I loved it. I really enjoyed the interactions that those two had back in season 2, and this episode was amazing. Now, at first I thought that Vanessa had a hand in killing Clare, but turns out she didn't, and I'm very thankful for that, because that would have been a very awkward interaction if Clare remembered what Vanessa did, or if Vanessa remembered that Clare was actually back as one of Frankenstein's monsters. So yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. So Vanessa is still remembering her past. She is hypnotized by Dr. Seward, and Dr. Seward tries to get her back into reality, but that doesn't happen because apparently Vanessa is in some sort of a comatose state, and she can't get out of it until she has remembered or accepted everything that has happened to her. And that's when we got to know more about Clare and his role in Vanessa's treatment. And yeah, I was very surprised when Clare's eyes went all dark because of the devil's influence, and at first I thought, was Clare really Lucifer? Was he possessed? So it turns out that he was possessed by Lucifer to get close to Vanessa, and Clare doesn't really remember being possessed, or it was a little confusing because at first I thought that Lucifer possessed Clare, but in one of the sequences it was shown that everything was happening inside Vanessa's mind. So perhaps Lucifer came to her, but his appearance was in the form of Clare because he was the only one she was interacting with. So yeah, and in the same way, Dracula came to Vanessa looking like Clare as well. And that's when we got to know more about the Lucifer and Dracula dynamic, that Lucifer was after Vanessa's soul, while Dracula's need for Vanessa was more earthbound, that he was after her body. And both of those so-called evil brothers don't get along very well, and I like Dracula's theory or comment that Lucifer doesn't really hold enough power on Earth if people actually stop believing in him. So yeah, remember what is a god to people who don't have any faith? Like, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in Lucifer, then they don't really have much power on the people. And it reminded me of the whole Attack on Titans Part 2, the film that came out, that Zeus and everybody was losing their powers because people were losing their faith. So even though it looked as if Vanessa was being tempted by Lucifer and Dracula, she wasn't, and she held on to her faith. She knew that God was still with her, and she went all witchy, black magic type thing, that she was actually threatening Dracula and Lucifer that they both have no idea who they're messing with, and that she's far too powerful than they could have imagined, and she proved herself. I guess she has proved herself quite right. She fought Lucifer back in season 2, and I'm really excited to see how she fights against Dracula in the upcoming episodes this season. As far as Vanessa's and Clare's personal interactions are concerned, I loved the scene where Clare brushed her hair and put makeup on her and tried to make her remember that the woman she sees in the mirror, that's the Vanessa Ice that she needs to become. But yeah, then there was that scene where Vanessa tried to seduce Clare and they started to kiss, and I was like, no, Vanessa, don't do it, don't do it, Penny Dreadful, what are you doing? But then John stopped, and yeah, I was like, phew, thank God they both stopped, because that would have messed up their relationship, further down the line when they eventually meet up in London. You could really feel that John felt for Vanessa, that he felt helpless, that he understood that what the people were doing, it wasn't science, it was torture, and Vanessa was being tortured, and he accepted that. And then we got to know about how his ill son played a role in him resigning from the profession. And yeah, good for you, John. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this week's episode of Penny Dreadful down in the comment section below. And how do you think Vanessa will be able to fight Dracula? Will we see Lucifer again? So yeah, let me know down in the comment section below, and let's get to talking, and I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay happy, and bye.